G'day everyone, Kev from Basketball Victoria here. In this video, I'm going to talk to you about programs in PlayHQ, where you can take registrations for non-competition related activity. There are two types of programs in PlayHQ: shared programs, which we pre-create for you, or local programs where you create them yourself. The types of programs that are shared are all beginner programs, whether it be Ford Aussie Hoops or your own branded beginner programs, representative tryouts, junior country representative squads, and BV branded diversity and inclusion programs such as Be All In and Walking Basketball. On the other hand, there are local programs. So where you are creating, you want to use something that is, or you're creating a program that is not a shared program or one that's pre-created for you or needs to be pre-created for you, you can create your own. So examples of this include holiday camps, rep ready programs, other programs such as your own inclusion programs that are not the BV branded ones, education sessions such as coach or referee training sessions, and wait lists. So as mentioned before, when you go into your database and click on programs, as mentioned before, where there is a shared program or a specific type of program is a shared program, you need to utilize it. Or if it's not there, you need to get in contact with us and we'll add it in for you. A classic example of this is if you do your own beginner basketball programs. So first thing to check is use shared programs if they are one of those types. The next thing to check is, have you already created a local program? Have you run this before so you could reutilize that particular program rather than creating a new program for a new season? The idea is create the program once and create multiple seasons underneath it. And in the event that you haven't created that program locally before, you can add a new program. And the process I'm going to show you guys now is similar for whether you're utilizing a shared program or a local program. Just so you know, with shared programs, we typically aim to get the following season or term set up 1/3 of the way through the term before. So in this case, I'm going to add a local program. It's going to be targeted at domestic, and it's going to be a clinic. I'm going to call them specialist clinics. Okay, so we add the program and then we go into that program and we add the season. So in this case, I'm going to make it summer 24-25 because I'm going to run them over my Christmas holidays. So this is going to start on the 13th of January and the last session is going to be on the 17th of January 2025. Now down here, if you are only running one group where a participant will register and they've got no choice of what option they want to go for, they're just registering to that program, whether it's the same time every week or that one session only, then we recommend that you put in the information over here. However, if you are offering multiple groups where the registrant can choose whether to attend, the Monday session or the Wednesday session for Aussie Hoops, for example, then we recommend you do not put this information in. Otherwise, it will cause confusion. All right, once we've set that up, and we can hit add season. And then we go into the season. And if you are doing a shared program, that information is in settings. So the first thing I always would do or recommend you do is alter the dates to suit your needs. Because when we create seasons for these shared programs, we give you a wide berth to cater for every possible scenario and then just tighten those dates to suit your needs. The next thing I would do is go into groups. So for this particular summer, I'm going to offer shooting clinics. Both clinics are the same, but they've got a choice of whether they want to attend the Monday one or the Thursday one. So I'm going to create the first group, shooting clinic. and this is for Monday. It's only going to be one session. The date of the Monday one is 13th. It's for all genders. I'm going to go Monday at 10 a.m. Goes to 11 a.m. It's going to be at the Alexandra Leisure Centre on Court 1. And down here, where you select the group visibility, if you make the group hidden, it means they're going to register generally, and then you've got to put them in a group. However, more often than not, you want to make the group visible so that they can choose what group they want to go into at the point of registration. So we're going to click visible, make the group, and we'll do the same for the Thursday one. And there you've got your groups. Next thing is to go into registration. If you'd like to ask any custom questions, you can configure them in custom fields. Otherwise, you can go into registration limits if you want to limit the number of people that can register to each group. So for example, if you've got a capacity of 5, which we'll configure here. So in season limits, what we're saying is a total of X number of people can register to the season, irrespective of what group they are in. But more commonly, you would select a group limit. So you might say unlimited, but if you want to make it limited, you could say 10. 10 for that one, and because you might have an extra coach that day, you might have 20 for that one. Okay. So once you've set your limits, you can go into settings and set up your registration form. Like competition registrations, you can select what roles you want to take registrations for, but typically these are for players. But if you do have like a coach training session or a referee training session, you can select coach or official. When do you want to open registrations? When do you want registrations to close? I normally recommend 11:55 p.m. People like to get their registrations in at the last minute. You can set age limits to restrict who can register if you like. Select the fee that you're charging to register to the, if you want to have a set fee for all groups. Alternatively, you could charge by the group, where you use group variance. So you could charge this fee for one group and that fee for another group. So you might make it cheaper for girls if you want to increase your female participation rate. In this case, I'm just going to go flat fee for everything. If you like, you can add merchandise in when people register. So you can configure your merchandise over here in products and then add it in here. Put in some information about the program. I always recommend you put in your terms and conditions, which are configurable in my organization and overview down the bottom, and decide whether you want your registration form visible or hidden on your public-facing PlayHQ page. In most cases, I generally recommend we make it visible and then you hide it when registration is closed to keep your registration page nice and neat. Once you hit save, PlayHQ will generate a registration link that you can copy and distribute via this way. Alternatively, you can go to, and that registration link takes you direct to that registration form. However, I'm a big fan of doing this, which isn't always appropriate, but in most cases it is. Go to playhq.com, find your club or association, and then there is the register tab. And in here, any visible form will be shown, and this one's visible and within the registration window, so it is able to be selected from here. And I always like to, instead of send out this link, which takes you direct to the registration form, I prefer to send out this link and advertise this link for several reasons. One, it's a one-stop shop for everything for your organization. So a parent registering here might see that you also offer this, and then they might register the same player or their sibling to that particular program. Secondly, it never changes season to season. So you've got one link that is perpetual. And finally, it does give you the ability to better manage late registrations. So for example, if you want to close off registrations, I typically would recommend that you hide the form and extend it out. But because you haven't sent the direct link to the form, because you've hidden it from here and you've sent everyone to your register page, no one can register. So what they do, they'll scroll down, get in contact with you, and you can decide whether or not, at your discretion, whether or not you want to allow this particular person to register late. And in that case, you can send them the direct hidden link to that parent or participant. They can register late without running the risk of a whole bunch of other people jumping in when you extended the registration window because you had previously sent this link to everybody. And that's programs in PlayHQ. As always, if you require any assistance with PlayHQ, please visit support.playhq.com, scroll down a bit, hit the Contact Us button, and follow the prompts for Basketball in Victoria.